A storm is rising over Washington, D.C., and its repercussions are being felt across the nation. An anonymous leak has caused shockwaves, exposing a secret plot within the political circles. The details? A list of traitorous politicians who are allegedly being targeted for removal from Congress. This so-called Patriot List has surfaced, and at the very top of the list is none other than Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. The accusations? That Omar has abused her position to protect illegal immigrants, coaching them on how to evade ICE, aiding and abetting what many would consider a direct betrayal of U.S. law. These explosive claims are shaking the very core of American politics at a time when public outrage over the border crisis is at an all-time high, and the influence of MAGA, Make America Great Again, forces is rapidly surging. As these allegations make their way across social media, they reach the hands of former Trump administration officials, including one of his staunchest supporters, Brandon Gill. His response is direct and clear. This is an urgent matter that must be exposed, and it couldn't have come at a more critical time. The leaks are reaching far beyond partisan lines, prompting deep questions from both Democrats and Republicans about the loyalty of those within the halls of Congress. But the leak is just the beginning. Along with the exposure of the so-called Patriot List comes the assertion that discussions are already underway on how to remove these so-called traitors, with investigations into politicians who have knowingly obstructed immigration enforcement. Could this be the first step of a full-scale political purge? In the aftermath of this revelation, former President Donald Trump himself takes to Truth Social with a chilling message. The traitors to America are being exposed. Watch what happens next. But is this just another Trumpian attempt to stir the pot? Or is something far bigger unfolding behind the scenes? As the storm clouds gather, progressive leaders like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez are taking to the airwaves, denouncing the leak as nothing more than a coordinated effort by MAGA extremists to silence opposition. AOC's voice rings with urgency as she appears on MSNBC, warning that the attacks on Ilhan Omar are only the beginning, and that tomorrow, the attacks will be aimed at all of us. They're coming after Ilhan today, but make no mistake, tomorrow, they'll come for all of us, she warns. Meanwhile, behind closed doors, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is calling for an emergency meeting to strategize how to contain the rapidly escalating crisis. The Democratic Party is in turmoil as it grapples with how to defend one of its own, while its ranks begin to splinter over Omar's controversial past. The media, led by CNN and the New York Times, rushes to discredit Brandon Gill and his claims, branding him as a conspiracy theorist. But the pressure on Omar only intensifies. The whispers of betrayal, the mounting evidence of her connections, and the growing public outcry could change everything. As the investigation continues to unfold, a new twist emerges. Brandon Gill, ever determined to make his case, steps onto the floor of Congress and drops a bombshell. He claims to possess audio evidence that could bring down Ilhan Omar's career for good. The FBI, he alleges, has the recording. It's an audio that could be the smoking gun in this scandal. Yet the question remains, if the evidence is real, why has the FBI not acted? Omar, of course, vehemently denies the allegations, calling them racist attacks designed to silence her. But as the accusations swirl, there is one glaring omission from the media's coverage. Not a single journalist is asking the most obvious question. Did Ilhan Omar help illegal immigrants evade ICE? The situation becomes even more intense when a highly classified FBI document is leaked, suggesting that Omar had been under investigation for foreign financial ties, particularly to a Somalia-linked nonprofit. The document raises serious concerns about the possibility of foreign influence in American politics. If true, these revelations could go far beyond campaign finance violations and point to a potential national security threat. The leak sends shockwaves across conservative media, and Brandon Gill, seizing the opportunity, calls for a formal inquiry. Yet, in a stunning move, the Justice Department issues a public statement dismissing the leaked document as incomplete and misleading. No investigation, no further comment, just silence. Behind the scenes, panic begins to set in within the Democratic Party. As whispers of betrayal grow louder, the party begins to reconsider their stance on Omar. Will they continue to shield her? Or is it time for them to cut their losses and distance themselves from the scandal? As the walls close in, the media's response shifts. Instead of outright defending Omar, the New York Times and the Washington Post begin to question whether her presence in Congress is ultimately hurting the Democratic Party. In fact, some are even suggesting that Omar might have to step down for the sake of party unity. The idea that she could be politically expendable is beginning to take hold, and Omar finds herself in a perilous position. And then, in a move that shocks everyone, Elon Musk throws fuel onto the fire. In a single tweet, he hints at a deeper truth that could expose Omar's entire political career. Looks like they really don't want the truth about Ilhan Omar getting out. Musk writes cryptically. The internet erupts with speculation. Is Musk about to drop the bombshell that will bring this scandal to a head? The very next day, a renowned independent journalist leaks another damning document. A report from the FBI that seemingly confirms the investigation into Omar's financial ties to foreign entities. The document details suspicious campaign donations and questionable wire transfers. If true, this could destroy her career and lead to criminal charges. The response from Democrats is swift. They dismiss the document as unverified misinformation, but their denial only fuels the fire. Meanwhile, Brandon Gill continues to call for a public congressional hearing, demanding that the witness who claims to have seen Omar in action must testify under oath. In a chilling twist, a former aide to Omar steps forward, speaking under anonymity. This whistleblower confirms that the audio recording exists and that Omar did, indeed, coach illegal immigrants on how to evade IC. The mere existence of this witness changes everything. Omar, of course, continues to deny everything, branding the claims as baseless attacks by MAGA extremists. Yet, as the days pass, the pressure on her mounts. Her defenders are beginning to falter, and the Democrats find themselves caught between a rock and a hard place. Will they continue to protect her, or will they finally turn their back on her as the evidence grows more compelling? As the scandal continues to unfold, a new bill emerges, the Protecting Congress Act, a sweeping measure that would expel any lawmaker found guilty of aiding illegal immigration or obstructing immigration enforcement. The bill has the potential to remove Ilhan Omar from office immediately if passed. Panic sets in among Democratic leaders, and they scramble to find ways to prevent the bill from passing. The tension is palpable. Ilhan Omar vows she won't be silenced. AOC and Bernie Sanders denounce the bill as an assault on democracy. They argue that MAGA is attempting to purge political opposition and silence dissent. Outside of Congress, however, the pressure continues to grow. A hashtag calling for the deportation of Ilhan Omar trends worldwide. Millions of Americans demand action, fueling conservative media to push for the bill's passage. Trump himself weighs in, calling for the draining of the swamp. He delivers a rallying cry to his base, urging them to stand firm. This is just the beginning, he promises. The fight to reshape Congress has begun. Yet, as the political firestorm rages on, something even more unsettling begins to surface. New financial records suggest that a mysterious influx of cash has been pouring into Omar's defense. Money that seems to be coming from foreign-linked entities. The implications are explosive. Could this be the final twist in the saga? Brandon Gill, seizing on this new development, calls for another investigation into the dark money financing Omar's defense. But as the left fights to maintain its hold, cracks are beginning to show. The more they fight to protect Omar, the more questions arise. Are they truly protecting her, or are they desperately trying to save themselves? As the FBI leak continues to make headlines, a final, devastating question remains unanswered. Will Ilhan Omar's political career survive this onslaught? Or has the storm finally reached its peak? One thing is clear. The battle for the future of Congress has only just begun. If you're still with me through this, make sure to hit that subscribe button because the truth is unfolding and we are just getting started. Stay tuned because the stakes have never been higher.